First base are the peonies, second base are the chives, and third base are the raspberry bushes. And I am the greatest home run hitter in Chicago Cubs history, better than Andre Dawson, and I am about to help the Cubs win the World Series for the first time since 1914. Bases are loaded, bottom of the ninth, full count, 2 outs. It's the pitch, and it's okay, Harry Carey says. We're going to give him a do-over because he's that good. It's the pitch, and it's a drive. It might be, it could be, it is a home run for Jeremy McCall! It's my mom. She came around the corner to tell me it's time for dinner. And she's wearing that blue shirt with the roses on it, and her baggy jeans, and her Birkenstocks. And she's smiling. That's my smile. I'm an only child, so I don't got to share that smile with nobody. When I was born, I completed the perfect triangle that was made up of my mom, my dad, and me. From my mom, I received the ability to write with my left hand, blue eyes, and depression. From my dad, I received diplomacy, creativity, and a love-hate relationship with the theater. Inside our triangle, we filled things with pets and a beautiful Victorian farmhouse, and eventually my wife, Laura. We were a white, middle-class family growing up in middle America. We didn't really have any problems with the exception of a few maybe troubled teen moments. I wouldn't call myself privileged, but what I would say is that I'm blessed to have 2 parents that loved and listened and appreciated each other and me. In 1987, my mother was diagnosed with melanoma. It developed on her upper lip, and she told me at the time, it's just a mole I had to have removed. It doesn't make any sense. You have like 7,000 moles. Why does one make a difference? But I was 8, and she didn't want to worry me by telling me it was cancer. It was at that point that your father and I knew that would probably kill me someday. The next major occurrence wasn't until 2004, right before your wedding, when I noticed that there was a mole on my left shoulder, and I thought, shit, I'm gonna look like hell for Jeremy's wedding. So I ignored it and didn't get it checked out till almost a year later, right before you moved to Richmond. They didn't tell us what was going on. We had no idea. And when I finally asked my father about it, he said, son, we didn't want to worry you and have you change your plans of moving to Richmond. Fuck you. I'm an adult. She could have died, and I wouldn't have known anything about it. At least now we can sit down and talk about it. So fuck you and never treat me like a child again. She ended up being fine from this. They removed 13 lymph nodes from her left arm, and she had a dent. But other than that, it was okay. When they did the follow-up check and they scanned her body, they found a mark on her lung, but they thought it was just a shadow from a rib. It wasn't until 2 years later when we moved back from Richmond that things changed. I'm in Polly Eyes Pizza, which is a 1950s-style pizzeria in Iowa City. It's our weekly tradition. After Mass, the 4 of us, Mom, Dad, Laura, and I, go and order pizza. Dad and I have a Pepsi. Laura and Mom have a Merlot. Mom says to Laura, Dear, would you mind cleaning up the weeds tomorrow that I pulled today? I have a doctor's appointment, and I'm afraid I won't be up for the task. Yeah, that's what happens all the time, right? She always does the work, and then she gives us the shit jobs, right, Mom? She's crying. It's at this moment that I realize that that cough she's developed isn't just a cold or allergies. It's at this moment that I realize that my perfect triangle is about to become imperfect. And so here we are at the end of it all, and we need to talk about my funeral. In the end, I just want the four of us there. I want you, Jeremy, you, Chuck, and you, Laura. And that's it. I don't want my sisters or my mom there. I don't think they can handle it. And Jeremy, I'd like you to sing at my funeral if you think you can. You have such a beautiful voice. I'd love to hear it. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, show me love. Where there is injury, your pardon, Lord. Where there's love, true faith in you. She died on November 15th, 2007 at approximately 5 p.m. with me, my father, and my wife at her side, holding her hands, kissing her, and telling her how much we love her and miss her. Her mom and sister were about a half hour away, trying to get to Iowa from Chicago. They say that the hearing is the last thing to go, and I am certain that that's true. When my aunt called to tell us that they were about 45 minutes away, the hospice worker went and told my mom, who'd been in a coma all day, that she was going to be there soon. Your mom and your aunt will be here soon. And Mom's eyes flew open and she started to go. I was walking the dog and my phone rang and it was Laura, and she said, "Jeremy, get your ass back here now. She's going, it's time." And I took off running through the yards to get home. And that stupid dog, who's short and fat and doesn't run, stayed right by my side the entire way. I handed her off to the hospice worker and ran inside to be with Mom. And I was told later that she was straining at the leash to try to get to me because she wanted to help and she knew there was something wrong and she didn't know what was going on. She's been my constant companion ever since. Mom died with the sunset. And the Iowa sunsets are big, beautiful skies, and Iowans don't boast about them nearly enough. This sunset had no pink in it. Normally, the sunsets are vibrant pinks and oranges and purples, but this one had no pink, and Mom hated pink. What it did have was deep blue, which was her favorite color. When my aunt and grandma arrived, I answered the door, and my aunt said, "She's gone, isn't she?" And I nodded, and she said, "I knew there was no pink in that sunset." I sat with her body for a long time, crying for her, about her, and with her. When she was sick, her face had filled up with these liquids, and she was swollen. But after she died, the fluids drained from her face, and she looked like my mom again. She looked beautiful. Beautiful and pale. That image still haunts me.